Do you think Serena comes back into the game and is still an effective force and is still one of the most dangerous or most feared women in the game? Do you think she comes back and preserves the legacy, or do you think if she does come back, it's not good?
So I feel a few things about this. To begin with, in terms of what chance she would stand against the rest of the tour, it depends on her fitness. If she's fit,
if she picks and chooses the tournaments,
able and she's moving well on the court, then the power, as in boxing, the power is the last thing to leave. So she'll be able to hit against the best hitters. There are no dominant players in the women's tour right now. Maybe Swiatek, if you want to say that, the world number one. But on any given day, in a best of 3, you can have her as well. You know, we saw Raducanu come in like a house on fire last season to win the US Open, and she's done nothing this year. You know, so having seen as well just this morning a picture of Serena on Instagram, or a video of Serena on Instagram, where she visibly looks smaller and she visibly looks like she's in better shape than I've seen her in a while. If that's the case, that looks like she's training for that comeback. And having then had the interview where she reminded us that she didn't say that she's retiring. So if she's in shape, Chuck, and her 40-year plus legs can carry her around the court, then she can make some noise. That is still to be found out. In terms of, do I think that she should come back? With regards to her legacy, it's very much what I said about Ronaldo recently on Twitter. That legacy is etched in stone. You cannot do anything at this moment to hurt it. I believe that's far down the road. I don't think those kind of athletes can hurt their legacies. They also can very hardly add to their legacies. If Serena comes back, it's a matter of there's more to gain, in my opinion, than to lose. I think she's obsessed with that number 25. I think she wants to chase down Margaret Court, and I think she wants to get 24, get 25, and forget the caveat of most Grand Slam titles in the open era. She just wants most Grand Slam titles, period. So if she comes back, my head, the plan is you come back for the Australian Open where you've been the most successful. You'll have a good chance there. You get that. You skip the French because the clay is punishing and you've got no reason to go there. And then you show up for Wimbledon, which is another court which you absolutely love. You get 25 there. There's also the pomp and ceremony and the history of doing it at SW19. And then you don't need to go back to the US Open because you already said goodbye at the US Open. You let us cry and took those plaudits only to tell us that you're not really retiring. So I can see the plan as well in terms of how it would work. And then finally, about coming back or not coming back as an athlete, sport is something not many people get to do. If you are not playing a sport where it is dangerous to your health, like boxing or rugby or NFL football, where you're getting hits to your head, where you might die, and the older you become, the more dangerous it becomes for you, I think you should play as long as you want to. I feel like you should never retire. If you play football or tennis or whatever the case may be, if you're not good enough for the very top level, keep dropping down levels, but keep playing, because why shouldn't you? The other side is how we perceive these people. Like, I remember Serena a certain way. You want to remember your heroes a certain way. And if she's out there being and she's just getting knocked out like in the first round, like Venus.
In terms of the legacy in Ndwana, I don't know. Like for me, there is that prestige. Kim Clijsters came back from having delivered a baby to. Did she win a Grand Slam or finalist?
She won her Grand Slams after that. Yes,
it could happen like that. Or it could be like the darling in my eyes, Martina Hingis, who came back and didn't really recreate early years where she was winning stuff. Are you happy? Because Serena's not like Joaquin, who's happy to play at Betis at age 38 and be the oldest La Liga goal scorer and Europa, whatever. This is Serena Williams, who's got a proper record in terms of being a GOAT. Obviously, you're saying she can't tarnish her legacy, and that's fine. I agree with that. But are you happy with seeing her getting beat, but she's still there, she's still playing? Are you happy to see her like win round 1, round 2 years? When you look at her bracket, like Lauzo Puma, are you happy to look down there and say Uzo Puma as a fan, someone who actually loves Serena Williams?
No, I'm not. I'm not. That's why I say I'm two ways about it. Like, if I put myself in the position of the individual, if I was someone who's like played sport professionally,
have fun.
If in terms of the individual, the decision that they must make for themselves, it's like you should do whatever. You know, playing sport is fun, and you get to see the world, and you get to get paid. And I don't know if you are ready for that transition after the game. So why need transition if there's no real need in the now? As a fan, though, that's the other side. As a fan, I do remember Serena a certain way. You know, as I eulogize it, like the most dominant force, like in women's tennis and maybe tennis overall, pound for pound, that we've ever seen. It's like Michael Jordan in his years with the Wizards. That was not Michael Jordan. There was a guy wearing 23 in Washington, but that was not Jordan, you know. And similarly, what is happening with Cristiano Ronaldo, like that's not the dude from Real Madrid. And you don't want to see him go out like that. You don't want to see your heroes go out sad. Yeah, if I put it that way. You don't want to see Muhammad Ali like almost get killed. That was not the guy who was staying like a bee, floating like a butterfly, you know. So if what she looks like is her sister, I don't want to see that. I don't want to watch that, you know.
One is enough, yeah.
Kudos to her, and like she's well empowered to do whatever she wants to do, as I'm saying. But as a fan, I don't want to have to watch her like that. In the short term, we're gonna think of them in that way. But in the long term, you bring up Hingis. That is not one of the first things that comes up about Hingis when you talk about her. Same thing with Jordan. That's why when you saw that documentary about the Last Ride, it's like that's a bad man, you know. That's a bad man from Chicago. Don't really care what happened with the Wizards. That was already, as I'm saying, etched in stone who that dude was. Yeah. And with Serena, she's her, you know, regardless of what happens after this. But as a fan, I don't want to watch her. I don't want to watch her go out sorry.